Hello, Jamie from Inky and Scrappy. Welcome back to all of my subscribers. If you are new here, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel grow and alerts you when new videos go up on the channel. I am using the color guide that I used last time, so if you're interested, all of that will be on the blog at inkyandscrappy.com. I have my images colored. I have a couple of pieces of brown cardstock that I've already speckled that I will use for my sand. I am pulling in a gel print cleanup piece, I guess, from my gel press as my water. And I'm just going to trim that down so it is straight. And I'm using a stitched rectangle die from Lawn Fawn for my, I guess, focal image panel or my scene panel today. And I ink blended the sky off. Well, I took it off camera because I'm not going to end up using it. I thought it got too dark. So my blending brushes, I don't clean them in between. I semi-clean them, but I don't clean them. And I've been doing a lot of deep dark night skies, and yeah, I think I should have just grabbed my blending foam because it ended up being a lighter shade of Faded Jean instead of the salty, I think it was tumble glass that I was going for. I love the look of that panel. I will use it at some point in time, but I end up scrapping it here. I just did not love it. I tried. It just wasn't working. So don't be afraid to scrap an original idea. It's okay to reevaluate. I did find a scratch piece of cardstock. It's old Close to My Heart. If you know Close to My Heart colors, it's a breeze color, but it's like a very light inking of that breeze color. So it's super light, but it went perfectly with my color combo for my Santa, the green that I used on my Santa shirt. And so I pulled that one in, and I really love that lighter look. I probably should have done a distress ink instead of an oxide for that background sky. You know, hindsight. So I'm going to pop that scene panel on top of that pineapple cardstock. The pineapple cardstock comes from the Echo Park Paper Pack Summertime. And yes, those sunglasses on the pineapple totally inspired me to put sunglasses on Santa. So I'm just bringing in some Versa Fine Onyx Black ink, and then I'm going to stamp those right over Santa's eyes. And I did that ink just because I knew it was going to cover it all up, and then go in with some black embossing powder because I wanted it to be shiny. I probably should have tried for a second layer of the black embossing powder to get it a smoother look, but I was okay with it being not quite as smooth as I probably would have liked it. So as I'm waiting for my heat tool to warm up, I will try to clean up most of my mess so I don't knock the jar over and get embossing powder everywhere. How do I know these things? Experience, my dear, experience. So I have my sunglasses on my Santa that match my pineapples in the background that have some sunglasses on them. See, it just goes, man. And then I'm deciding where Santa's gonna do. So this one was totally inspired by the last card that I made and the little scene that I had done in the thought bubble. And I was like, I could just do that whole scene on an A2 card. So that was where I was planning on going with this one. But of course, I can never do anything that looks exactly the same because that's just not how I roll. Or very seldom, that's how I roll. And so I'm going to put Surfin' Santa in the water here. And I like to cut off the white stuff when I overlap my stamped images. It's just usually what I do. I don't always do it, but I do it a lot. I'm going to speed up the video just a little bit here, just because I'm just adding some foam dimension onto the back of that palm tree to bring that forward a little bit more and I guess add a little bit of dimension to that scene. And then I will figure that one out. And again, I was working with that triangle theory on my three main images there, the sun, the palm tree, and surfing Santa. And then I'm bringing in that pineapple from the Beachy Christmas set as well. And I actually colored it and threw it on the Brothers Scan and Cut. And then I had to make dinner for the guys that came in. And so I was trying to get it to cut quick before I had to walk away. And so I didn't remember to put the white border around it. So you will see that they are all cut close. Yeah, that's because distraction is, yeah, it happens. I did like how they turned out. They cut out just fine. I always worry when I walk away from the Brothers Scan and Cut when I push the cut button, because if it moves or it budges, I like to be there to push stop so it only ruins like one image instead of all of them. It worked this time, so it was no big deal. I did add Santa's peppermint cocktail to his hand. And then I'm going to add the sentiment season's greetings to that bottom corner there. It just needed something yet, but it was a classic spot to add the sentiment to, and that was the one that fit the best there. So I'm going to trim that down a little bit and then add that to my bottom there. And then I still feel like it needs something. It needs a little bit of bling. So once I have my sentiment on there, and you could pop that up as well if you wanted to, I just glued it to the front. And using that liquid glue allows that little bit of wiggle room to get it just in the right spot. Since my panel is already on my card base there, so, you know, or my background panel, I guess. I'm pulling in some chunky glitter or some chunky sequence stuff. That particular one is from Target like 2 years ago. And the silver ones were okay, but I just thought it was too big and too loud for the card. I ended up using this mix. I think it's called Seaside or Ocean. I think it's Ocean. I don't remember. But it's from Buttons Galore and More. It's one of their sequence mixes. So if you're interested in that one, you can definitely look for that one. But those seashells have that iridescent shimmer layer on them. Now they are slightly bowed, and so I just ended up putting a bigger drop of glue than I would normally put to get them to stick without having to squash them. So they have a little bit of dimension yet to them. And I spend more time looking for the tools that I just used 5 minutes ago than anything else when I craft. I'm not alone, I don't think. And so I have those shiny bits on there. And of course, we had to do some glossy accents on those lights that are on the palm tree again. And then for the sun, I decided it needed a little bit of sparkle because I have some sparkle down below and some shine on there. And so I was thinking of just doing a glitter glaze pen. And then I did bring out my Nuvo glitter drops in, I think it's limoncello. I'm not positive on the name, but it's the light yellow glitter. It really doesn't add any more yellow. I could have done a clear one. It really didn't matter. But there is my completed Santa on Surfin' Santa card featuring Lawn Fawn's Beachy Christmas stamp set. I'm kind of liking it. And there's the inside. I did finish it up. So Merry Christmas on the inside with those pineapples. Pineapples mean luck, right? I don't remember. Anyways, have a great one. Keep getting inky.